Hello cooks, welcome to my new series where I will be giving you a weekly cooking tip every Saturday morning. My goal is to help motivate you for a weekend of cooking, tasting, and delicious fun. This week, my tip has to do with knives. So let's do this. It's Saturday morning and my tip for this week has to do with your Santoku knife. Now, I loaned this Santoku to Eric and he used it to cut some chicken. And one of the things that I've always said is a traditional Santoku knife is high on the Rockwell scale, which means it is thinner, harder steel and it is very sharp. One issue with that is it does not do well when you cut into bone. The purpose of a Santoku is for slicing meat, cutting vegetables and fruit, and if you cut into bone with this kind of knife, this is a high on the Rockwell scale Santoku, this will happen to you. This right here, this knife is chipped because Eric cut into a chicken bone when he was breaking down a chicken. He used this beautiful Santoku knife that is very high on the Rockwell scale to break down a chicken, and he was cutting the leg off with the thigh and wham, and chipped my Santoku knife. A Santoku is high on the Rockwell scale. The higher you get on the Rockwell scale, the sharper and the harder the knife is. This is a perfect example of a Santoku that is high on the scale. And look what happened. It's more brittle and it's subject to chipping. So when you try to cut into a bone like that, you could damage your knife. This can be fixed, but this knife is going to need a new edge. I can sharpen knives, but I'm not great at putting a new edge on. So I'm going to have to take this to a professional knife sharpener to have that done. If you are someone that can do that, great, right? But my skills in sharpening knives are just not there yet. So if you have a Santoku that's more in the German tradition, where it is softer, it tends to be thicker, and it's more of a hybrid knife, you can use it a little bit more like a chef's knife because those are the properties of a chef's knife. And chef's knives can power into bone. But thin Santoku, it's a beautiful knife, but the purpose of this knife is not to whoosh into bone because this is what happens. I'll show you a close-up of that. So my Saturday morning tip for this week, be careful with your hard Santoku knives when you're cutting into bone because this could happen to you. If you like this weekly tip, go ahead and subscribe and leave me a comment and visit my website, amylearnstocook.com. You can also catch me on social media, Pinterest and Twitter at Amy Learns to Cook. And on Facebook, my group, facebook.com/groups/Amy Learns to Cook, and also on Instagram at Cooking with Amy.